I'm
completely.
looking forward to Like a Dragon Ishin. That
Yeah.
should
We've
be good.
got
Is that next month? I gotta fucking
yeah.
finish
It's February
5 and 6 and Judgment
February
and
20.
7 and Lost Judgment.
What? Oh, you have to finish the entire Yakuza series before you can play that one. Isn't it
Well, you
technically
don't
a
have
prequel?
to.
Isn't it
No.
technically like a weird
No,
time
it's an
slip thing?
alternate universe. It's like a totally
Yeah.
different. It's like a totally different story that has like characters from the Yakuza. Like it's them. I mean, if you know what Ishin is, right? Like you've seen it. Or...
Yeah. I've seen it. I've seen it.
Yeah. So basically, it just uses characters from the Yakuza universe, but it's not them or their ancestors. It's just like them playing a character in an ancient Japanese kind of story. It's cool. It's pretty cool actually. Yeah, but um, I don't know.
Originally came
It
out.
just
Was it
it
PS3,
just
PS4, PS3 or
Yeah,
4?
so for anyone who doesn't know what Yakuza, or I guess at this point, Like a Dragon Ishin is, it was a launch title for the PS4 in Japan. So Japan got the PS4 like a little bit later than it did in North America.
Yep.
And one of the launch titles was Like a Dragon Ishin, which actually also came out on PS3 at the time. So it
Okay.
launched on it came out on PS3, like it was playing at like 30 frames per second, and they're like, "Whoa, if you get on PS4, it plays at 60." I'm like, "Whoa, double the frame rate."
Hey man,
But
that was the whole point of a PS4 back then. Get yourself
yeah,
60 FPS, man.
yeah. So I got Yakuza Ishin when I got my PS4 because I didn't know what to play actually. So I got a PS4, but I was like, I don't even know what I want to play on this thing. So I was like, I'll get this game. It looks pretty good.
Hmm.
Um, but when I bought it, I actually had never ever ever played a Yakuza game before, so I had no idea who the characters were. Or I know I just said they're not the same characters, but it's the same like likeness and it's kind of like their personality, so it's kind of cool, you know.
Uh-huh.
But
Uh-huh.
I didn't know who anyone was, and so I was just in it for the gameplay, which was like really addictive and really fun. It's a Yakuza game, so like
It's
wacky side stories and like lot and the fun like combat and stuff like that.
mhm.
Um, but this was back when really close to when I had first moved to Japan, so my Japanese wasn't that good, and
Oh,
I had no idea like what was
oh, that's
happening
right.
in the
Because yeah,
story. Yeah,
this is just straight up in Japanese, and it's in I don't know which time period, feudal time, feudal Japan, whatever. But they're also speaking in that dialect, right? Like that old school
yeah.
Japanese too. So
Yeah, and it uses a kanji. It uses the old kanji for numbers. Like, so in your heat gauge, when it shows like your level of heat gauge,
uh-huh.
it would show like the number, but it would use the old
Oh,
kanji.
the old there's an old kanji for one.
Well, ichi is ichi, but like ni is
Oh,
not
okay.
like it's
I was about
not.
to say
It's
like, whoa.
if you never if you've never seen them before, then I guess you haven't seen them before.
I
But
don't think
like
I've seen those before.
yeah, it's just it's old kanji. So like two, like ni isn't the ni you're thinking of right now. It's like one, two, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strokes or something. It's crazy. I was like, what is that? Oh,
Six
it's two.
strokes instead of two strokes. Wow, that's
It's really rare.
crazy.
Obviously it's not used too much anymore unless it's used for like names or places that might still use it. But yeah, so the numbers, I was like, I didn't learn this in university. So yeah. So I didn't really know what the story was. So I'm looking forward to playing it either in Japanese now that my Japanese is a lot better, or in English because it'll be sent. I'll send you on Discord. Like this is the kanji for the old kanji for ni.
I've got
It is at 6 strokes.
this is yeah, I'm taking a look at this now, and it is the crazy thing is I've definitely seen that, but I never would have associated that with a number.
That's 2. It means 2. Yep.
I've definitely seen it before in different places, just you know on signs or billboards. That's a name or whatever. I've
Yeah,
never.
it's used for names and stuff now because obviously it's
What the
yeah.
heck? That's a little too much for the number two.
Yeah, so it uses like the old kanji counting system. Anyways, yeah, so I was playing it and I didn't know what the story was. I barely knew what was going on with the story. And since I didn't know what was going on with the story, I was just like running around and just getting into fights because that's all I really know, like how to play the game. Uh, but
Yeah.
now I'm looking forward to like playing it again. So it's still a Yakuza game, so you have like wacky side stories and like just weird shit, and it's fun to see like stores that exist in modern day. So for example, there's like a Hanamaru Udon, which is like a udon
Okay,
chain
yeah, that's one of the
in
older ones. Yeah.
Japan. And so the newer Yakuza games will have every Yakuza game has like some weird kind of like branding in it. So
Mhm.
Yakuza games will have like Don Quixote, or you can get like Suntory whiskey or like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, the actual product placement in these games is kind of, it's next level. I mean, it links the
it's legit. Yeah.
authenticity too. Like, so like,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people, even in your chat, or because I know when you play Yakuza, a lot of people were like, "Oh snap!" Like, when I went to Japan or
Like it's a
whatever,
real
like
thing. Yeah.
it's a real thing. Like, I can base my experience in Yakuza, close to my experience when I went to Japan. And it's similar because like when you see those sites or when you see those foods and things, it's like, oh, this is not only how it is, but like this is how you order. Like that's how it is. You know what I mean? Like it's really
Yeah,
authentic.
there's a huge number of like real brands in the Yakuza games. So like Pronto Cafe is like a real cafe you can go to, and like Ace Cook, that's like a instant
Oh
noodle
god, not the
company.
Ace Cook.
Like,
No, never,
yeah,
never
they have
again.
like billboards in the game, and there's like a side quest in 4 maybe or 3 where this guy's like, I want to make like my own, like I don't make the best instant ramen. You have to help this guy make Ace Cook instant ramen, like legit. It's like insane. Oh, I remember I was in 4, I think it was, or it could be 5 actually. I can't remember because I was been binging them, but like you talk to a bunch of like I think it's construction workers, and they're like, oh, we're so hungry, but like we like can't get our food, and they're like, I want curry, and you're like, okay, I'll get you your curry. And then the main character, like Kiju's like, where can I get curry? And then of course you have to go to Matsuya. It's the real fucking fast
Not the
food chain.
Matsuya, man. Not the Matsuya.
Yeah, you have to go to Matsuya and you have to order like curry, and then you have to go and like bring these guys their Matsuya curry. And I'm like, this
They
is
got
like,
the cheapest curry they could find. I
yeah,
never had Matsuya curry. I maybe once, but I mean
yeah,
it's known for beef bowls, and I just
yeah.
it's like
It's so
it's hard to bring
so
myself to
funny.
do it.
Anyways, the point is it's funny to see these because it still has tie-in, right? Because it's like a
Yeah,
Yakuza
yeah,
game,
yeah.
but it's like not obviously modern. So you're like in an ancient Don Quixote, or you're, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like
it's gonna be
it's really funny.
honestly. I think a lot of people are gonna jump into it. Like a Dragon really started gaining more steam for the series, and now honestly I still have to go through it, and it's something where before I remember when it first launched, like Yakuza on PS2 and like 1, 2
Yeah,
or whatever, through those it was like this really respected, like, yo, this is the Japanese GTA, man. This
yeah.
is
It
listen to
was
this story. And
really
then
marketed. Yeah, it was marketed
yeah,
as a Japanese GTA heavily. As I think at the time, GTA was obviously a really big game on PS2.
hmm
It just
hmm
basically was one of the defining games of the console, right?
yeah, yeah.
So when they like brought Yakuza over, they're like, well, how do we push this? Oh, it's like GTA, I guess. But it's so
But they did a
it's
great
split
job
off.
with
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's its own thing now. So I think if you ask any gamer in, this year, like in our year of our Lord 2023, they would know that Yakuza games are not GTA games. Like they're
Yeah, there it
you know
like, that genre even itself has, it is what it is, but it used to be very niche. It was just like, oh yeah, if you've been to Japan or you want to feel like you're going to Japan, pick up one of these Yakuza titles. You're in for a ride.
Yeah,
But
they're fun.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I think you want to play them. They're good. They're really fun
I
games.
do. I do. I think I'm going to end up starting with Like a Dragon. I
Which
think I'm going
one?
to
Ishin?
the Ishin. No, not Ishin, but
You 7?
7 technically, yeah.
So
There's a
I was
second
playing
7.
7 too. So I was like, oh, I don't really, and this is true. You actually don't need to play the other games if you want to just enjoy 7, and nothing's stopping you. But still, you kind of lose out on a bit of like the world building. You
There's
kind of
like the
lose
Easter
out.
eggs, not Easter eggs, but just like some of the familiarity you might have with some of the places or
Yeah,
people.
like because like is it does take place in, obviously the series is chronological, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
um, if you jump into 7, you're jumping into the world of like 2020, right? But like
Oh,
a lot has happened. A lot has happened in like that universe.
in that universe, I was gonna say in Japan, not much has changed since 20. If you go back,
Well, no, because the Yakuza games always take place in the year that they come out in, right?
yeah, yeah,
So Yakuza 7 came out in 2020, 2019,
20
2019, I
something like
think.
that, 1920,
Yeah, well,
somewhere around there.
basically like 2, 3 years ago, right? But a lot has happened in the universe of Yakuza. So like, the series starts in the series starts in 2002, I guess. Like, yeah.
It's somewhere
So
around there.
yeah,
We'll
so you're
go from
missing.
flip phones and beepers to
Yeah.
actual smartphones.
So like smartphones. So like when I was playing through 3 and stuff, and everything, like they pulled up like flip phones. I'm like, damn, this game is dated. Holy shit.
Don't worry, I watched all of ER. That was my time skips.
Yeah. So when you play through the remasters of of 3 and 4, there's like a warning that shows up when you boot the game that says like this story takes place in this year, and all the what is it? It says like the laws and the morals are grounded in that time period.
In that time
I'm
period.
like, oh,
That's
yeah.
pretty cool. I mean, honestly, it's like almost like people playing Breath of the Wild. There's a bunch of people who that was their first Yakuza game. So, and
You
then,
mean Zelda game?
well, yeah, the Zelda game, but in terms of Yakuza, Like a Dragon was their first.
Yeah. Oh,
Their
for a lot
first
of people, you mean? Yeah, I see. I see.
for a lot
Yeah.
of people. So it's
Yeah.
interesting to see how they also think of it. But
So you can jump in on.
feel like
I was doing that too. I got like 6 hours into 7, and I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna pause this playthrough, and I'm gonna run through the whole series, and then I'm come back to here. So that's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. So that's coming out on the 21st of February. If you're looking forward to that, and yeah, we've got like some other games